Ja, ich möchte euch nochmal zu dem gestrigen Video etwas sagen. Das hatte ich bei BitChute gefunden, habe einen ganz kleinen Ausschnitt daraus übersetzt und gesagt, da kommt noch mehr. Inzwischen habe ich festgestellt, dieses Video gibt es auch auf YouTube, und zwar bei dem Kanal Resistance GB. GB steht sicher für Great Britain. Hier werden einige Leute unter anderem interviewt mit dem Titel 1000 Words und dann derjenige, der interviewt wird. Da gibt es mehrere Teile von David Icke. Den Link muss ich in die Kommentarspalte setzen. Ist momentan wieder nicht unter dem Video möglich. Vielleicht setze ich es trotzdem drunter. Vielleicht wird es nochmal wieder freigeschaltet. Aber auf jeden Fall in der Kommentarspalte findet ihr den Link. Und hier nochmal einen kleinen Auszug. Ihr könnt bei YouTube die automatische Übersetzung eingeben, die ja recht verständlich ist mittlerweile. Ja, viel Spaß.
And Ofcom, the censorship arm of the government in Britain, which is so bad, it was started by Tony Blair. Again, long game. He starts it, I think it was 2001, but the real reason for Ofcom is we're going to see it's coming.
Yeah.
All these years later. They, at the same time, approached the mainstream media and the broadcast media and basically said, in effect, you're not having this guy on because you're not broadcasting what this guy is saying, which means they're not having me on. And I've not been on the mainstream media ever since then. And I was still on from time to time, sometimes just to be ridiculed, sometimes to be taken a bit seriously here and there. And it always got big audiences because people are interested in the information.
Yeah.
But
Eamon,
all that has stopped. Eamon Holmes had me on a couple of times.
Didn't he?
And then suddenly, no more.
Right.
And if you look at the figures that those two interviews got, I mean, it was millions and millions.
Right.
So from a radio station point of view, you'd say, well, we'll have this guy on more often. No, it stopped. The whole thing stopped. And, you've got people you've got stories like in the Daily Mail where they will have some professor saying he believes that there is a reptilian race that's manipulating humanity. And in the story, they won't even mention me, who's been ridiculed and demonized all these years since 1996, 95, 96. I first started talking about it for saying there's a reptilian element to the manipulation of humanity. So it's basically radio silence. And so then you come into the hijacked alternative media and you look at someone like Joe Rogan, I think he's had a podcast since, 2009, something like that. And now has contracts worth hundreds of millions with Spotify, etc. And he's given massive promotion, mate of Elon Musk and what have you. Did an interview with a softball interview with Trump just before the election, which is the most predictable thing in the world.
Although he couldn't hide his confusion at the lack of a scar on his ear, could he? I think even
that's another story. How does your ear get hit by a bullet and there's no evidence that it's been hit by a bullet? I mean, a bit of your ear would be gone, wouldn't it? I mean, the whole thing's a scam. It's theatre, mate. It's just theatre. People only realised it. So if you look at Joe Rogan, he's had this podcast for a very, very long time. And he's talking to people that have sometimes unusual things to say, etc. And he has never had me on, ever. When I've been in the area that he broadcasts from, he won't have me on. I've had people who he's had on, who I've met, who've said to me, you've never been on the Rogan show? What, you?
Mm-hmm.
I'll get in touch with them. Never hear another thing.
Sure.
And when he had Russell Brand on, maybe a couple of years ago, And you know, Rogan was talking about me and in derogatory terms. I said on the internet, you know, this guy, why has this guy never had me on? I mean, given the unusual things that I'm saying, I mean, you know,
it makes sense. Of course.
You would be, from a journalistic point of view, it would be a gimme that you'd be on the Rogan show.
Yeah.
And so I got contacted then when I said it on the internet by people. He said, who said, I know the Rogan people. He said, what do you mean you've not been on? I'll have a word with them. Never heard another thing.
Right.
And then you've got Tucker Carlson,